Welcome to Everyday English Lab, the place where you improve your English every single day through powerful stories, real emotions, and practical lessons. Here, we believe that English learning is not just about grammar, it's about growing as a person. Today's story is not only a lesson in language but also a lesson in life. It is the story of a man who faced failure, fear, and hopelessness, and yet he refused to give up. Let's begin. Life is not always a straight road. Sometimes it's a mountain climb. Sometimes it's a dark tunnel. And sometimes it's a quiet test that asks one question: will you keep going even when no one believes in you? This is the story of David Carter, a simple man from a small town who learned that success is not about being lucky. It's about never giving up, even when life pushes you to your limits. David was an ordinary worker in a furniture store. Every day he carried heavy boxes, polished tables, and greeted customers with a polite smile. His salary was small, but his heart was big. He often stayed late, fixing broken chairs or helping his manager finish reports. He was the kind of person who worked hard but never got noticed. Inside, however, David had a dream. He wanted to start his own furniture business, one that would produce high-quality, handmade wooden tables and chairs. He loved the smell of wood, the sound of tools, and the satisfaction of creating something with his own hands. But there was one problem: fear. David was afraid to fail. He often told himself, "I'm too old, I don't have enough money, I don't know anything about business." Like many people, he waited for the right time, but that time never seemed to come. Then, one cold Friday afternoon, everything changed. David's company announced that it was closing down due to financial problems. After 18 years of loyal work, David was suddenly unemployed. He left the store that day carrying a small box with his name tag, his tools, and a photo of his coworkers. When he got home, he sat in silence for a long time. 18 years of his life were gone in a single day. At first, David felt broken. He thought his life was over. But later that night, as he looked at his old notebook filled with furniture designs, something inside him awakened. Instead of sadness, he felt a strange sense of peace, almost like a quiet voice whispering, "This is your second chance." For the first time, David decided not to let fear control him. He took a piece of paper, made a list, and wrote at the top, "Plan, start my own workshop." He began small. He cleaned his old garage, borrowed some tools from a friend, and used his savings to buy a few pieces of wood. His first goal was simple: build one table and try to sell it online. It wasn't perfect. The edges were uneven and the paint was a little rough, but it was his. When he finished, he took a photo and posted it on a local website with the caption, "Handmade with heart." 2 days later, someone bought it. The profit was only $15, but to David, it was priceless. That small sale gave him something more valuable than money: confidence. He realized that success begins with one small step. Encouraged, he built another table and then another. Each one was better than the last. Customers started leaving kind reviews. Slowly, his dream was taking shape. But life is never simple. A few months later, his car broke down and he couldn't deliver his furniture on time. One customer complained, another canceled an order. Bills began to pile up. One evening, he sat on the floor of his garage, surrounded by unfinished furniture, and whispered, "Maybe I should quit." He thought about finding another job. It would be easier, safer, normal. But deep inside, he knew that going back meant giving up the only dream that ever felt real. At that moment, David remembered something his father once told him. "When life gets hard, don't ask, 'Why me?' Ask, 'What now?'" He stood up, wiped his tears, and got back to work. From that day, David changed his mindset. He stopped focusing on what he couldn't do and started focusing on what he could do. He learned about online marketing, watched free business tutorials, and practiced better woodworking techniques. Instead of waiting for luck, he created opportunities. 1 year later, David's small workshop had become a local success. People from nearby towns ordered his furniture. A local newspaper even wrote an article about the man who built his future from a garage. But success didn't come from luck. It came from discipline, patience, and courage. Every failure became a lesson, and every mistake became a teacher. David's story teaches an important truth. Success is not about talent or money. It's about consistency, doing small things with great love, even when no one is watching. In our own lives, we often face moments like David's. We lose a job, we fail an exam, we get rejected, we feel invisible. But remember, failure is not the end, it's just a redirection. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. David's dream didn't come true overnight. It took time, pain, and patience. But what made him special was that he refused to stop. He believed that small progress was still progress. That's what success really is, not a big jump, but 1,000 small steps forward. If you ever feel like giving up, think of David. Think of the man who built tables not just from wood, but from hope. He didn't wait for perfect conditions. He started where he was with what he had, and that was enough. And one day, it will be enough for you too. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is proof that you're trying. Don't stop when it's hard. Stop when it's done. Remember, even a small step every day will lead you somewhere amazing. Key vocabulary from this story: determination, the quality of never giving up; consistency, doing something regularly, even when it's difficult; discipline, the ability to control yourself and work hard; courage, the strength to face fear or pain; resilience, the power to recover quickly from challenges; useful expression, one step at a time. It means don't rush. Focus on small progress every day. Thank you for listening to this motivational story from Everyday English Lab. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because here, we learn English through real stories, real emotion, and real growth. Remember, English is not just a language, it's a tool for life. And like David, you too can build something beautiful, one word, one step, one day at a time.